9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Latina Diaspora. I know I've been away a couple of weeks in this channel, but due to uh, other commitments which I had to keep, I couldn't air any lives for the last 2 weeks or so. But I'm back. So, welcome to Latina Diaspora. For those of you who are not familiar, what we do is we discuss issues pertaining to Latinos in the United States. Of course, I have my main YouTube channel, which is called Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron, where I discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube and Facebook. Also, the subscriber mode has been enabled for the first 5 minutes, meaning if you're not a subscriber and if you wish to enter a comment, you need to subscribe to the channel. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who've already subscribed to the channel, whether you've been a supporter from the very beginning or just recently joined. I want to I really appreciate your love and continued support. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media, as well as those who allow me to enter into your devices and those who watch from the clouds, even the haters. So, what I'm going to ask you to do, if you're not done so already, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, and set the bell notifications to all. So, therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch up on the playbacks. So, as you can see by the thumbnail, the topic for tonight is dealing with difficult people. Now, normally this would be the type of topic I would share on my main channel, but what I'm going to be doing is talking about some common everyday issues that Latinos deal with, and one of them is dealing with difficult people. So I'm going to be sharing my insights regarding them. Now, before we get into the main topic, we're going to have another episode of In My Words. Now, excuse me. Just 1 minute. My apologies. It's just that was my um, mode of transportation that's calling me with a recorded message for tomorrow's trip, which is why I'm not airing doing any lives tomorrow night, nor um, Wednesday night. Now I know, like I said, I haven't been able to do any lives on this channel because of my busy schedule. What I have done is, of course, continue to air several short videos, which I will continue to do so. Um, and of course, these videos tend to talk about Christian content or motivational content. So That's gonna be you're gonna see more of that on this channel as well. Now, of course, there's been a lot going on, particularly regarding the situation with ICE and the fact that they've been conducting themselves in a non-professional manner. Now, when it comes to law enforcement, one thing we have to bear in mind, okay? Yes, they're going to be people that are going to try to test the patience of law enforcement and do things to try to provoke them. But one thing we have to bear in mind, they are the professionals. They're the ones that have to demonstrate restraint. And it's not, and okay. And also, the fact that they're going along without any body cameras with their faces covered so no one can identify them, it's become problematic. I mean, a lot of the stuff that's happening with ICE has been provoked by them by arresting U.S. citizens, putting them in detention centers, depriving them of medical treatment, and there have been individuals that had died in confinement due to not receiving treatment. So um, those agents of ICE, they have a lot of work to do in order to redeem themselves and things of that nature. I mean, when you go around hiding behind a mask, not having body cam, uh, you know, her, arresting children, going into schools, going into places of worship, uh, to violate people's rights, that's going to cause a lot of problems. And of course, it cause a lot of backlash due to all the protesting that has occurred in multiple cities. Now, do I think I should be done away with? No, but they need to be under civilian control. They need to have accountability. They need to have a code of ethics. They need to have body camera and not behind masks and actually enforce the law, not break the law of people just because um, people who happen to have a Spanish surname or appear to be, appear to be undocumented. I mean, people are innocent until proven guilty. But hopefully, um, things will begin to change. Only time will tell. And of course, we are dealing with another government shutdown, albeit a partial government shutdown. Okay. Because guess what? Congress cannot create a budget which will last the entire fiscal year. The last time that was done is when the Democrats was in control of the House and the Senate. So of course everyone's talking about that the Democrats are likely to take over the House. They may be able to take over the Senate. The thing is this: they're going to have to come up with solutions as well, other than the Republicans are bad. Because if their campaign strategy is simply saying that the Republicans are bad, that's not going they're not going to succeed. But with that being said, we're going to get to the main topic. Now, let me just state for the record: the link to join the panel has been pinned. Should anyone wishes to hit that link and opine regarding the topic at hand, they may do so. I know I've said this before, and I will continue to say this. If I never see you before, if I never heard from you before, I will insist that you come up in the backstage before I let you on the panel. And the reason why is obvious. I don't want to take a chance that people come on and they flash um, pornographic images, which will cause the people of YouTube to take down their stream. Now, once I determine that you're not going to do that, then I'll let you on the panel. But as far as dealing with difficult people, okay, we are all dealt with people who made lives a bit difficult. Um, people that will test our patience, test our boundaries, and also cause try to cause a negative reaction towards us. But let me tell you, there's certain things that we need to do in order to deal with difficult people. Dealing with difficult people requires staying calm, setting firm boundaries, and managing your own reactions rather than trying to change them. Key strategies include active listening to understand their perspective, using empathy to de escalate tension, and focusing on observable behaviors rather than personality flaws. Avoid taking behavior personality, maintain professional distance, and prioritize self care. I'm going to give you what was, quote unquote, the genesis regarding the situation. Um, Recently, during the leadership retreat, I had an incident regarding a union rep who was saying disparaging remarks regarding trustees and talking about that, she has heard certain things. And then when another person tried to explain, to this person what is a board of trustees, and that if you really wanted to know, to speak with the trustees, her response was, I don't trust him. But yet, this person could not state where she got the source and who told her the information. So reality was, this person was not trying to um, get the facts straight, but simply focus on her delusion. I in turn decided, not to engage with this person because it would be a fruitless exercise. I have dealt with this person before. This person loves to be difficult. This person that made false claims and not 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 substantiating anything that she said. I mean, that's the part. So that was the genesis, so to speak. Now, with that being said, let me just share with you some key strategies how to deal with difficult people. I am not going to be long, maybe another 20 or 30 minutes, depending how things go. So let me just show some key strategies for management. Remain calm and objective. Do not react immediately or emotionally. Stepping back allows you to analyze objectively, reducing the likelihood of an explosive conflict. One of the things that dealing with difficult people is they want to elicit an emotional response. Mhm. Mhm. Okay. However, if you choose to de-escalate and remain calm, basically what you're doing is you're depriving the individual of getting their kicks off, trying to elicit an emotional response. Set clear boundaries. Mm. Explicitly state what behavior is acceptable and what is not. Be direct and firm about your expectations and limits. This is very important, okay? Because difficult people will try to test your patience and test your boundaries, but you have to remain firm. Use actively listening and empathy. Listen to understand, not just a response. Voluntary disrespect, even if you disagree, can reduce tension and help you to identify the root cause of their behavior. Okay. Many times, the difficult people uh, are not going to try to seek a resolution. They're just going to want to argue. So you have to try to be the responsible adult in the situation and demonstrate that you're not going to respond with emotion. Focus on behavior, not character. Address specific actions and their impact rather than using labels like difficult or passive aggressive, which makes people defensive. Many of these people um, lack the ability to take accountability for their actions. I mean, it's up and considering what happened with this union rep, it is abundantly clear that she is incapable of taking accountability for her actions and that she will try to elicit an emotional response. Design with positivity. Sometimes responding with kindness or a thoughtful comment can take people off guard, breaking their negative pattern. One thing we have to bear in mind is that these type of individuals, I mean, they have untreated trauma, and the only way they can deal with themselves and their low self-esteem is to try to put people down. So they'll say anything to try to elicit an emotional response. Now, there's some strategy when it comes to work, at work and in relationships. Identify hidden needs. Difficult people often have unmet needs or fears of driving their behavior. Certain people have low self-esteem, and the only way they can feel happy is to try to elicit an emotional response. Document behavior. Keep a record of interaction, especially if the behavior is bullying or chronic, to bring it to a supervisor or HR. Now, regarding what happened with this union rep, I have brought it to the organizer's attention. It's been also being brought up to the leadership of our union. We'll see what will occur. Limit exposure. If the person is not necessary in your personal life, it's acceptable to distance yourself from them, which is what I have been doing. Limiting my interaction to when it's absolutely positively necessary. Okay. This union rep has made it perfectly clear, for whatever reasons, has issues with yours truly. Mm, Whatever's going on in this person's life, uh, this person is unable to deal with whatever is the situation without the need of having this, no, uh, person, dealing with falsehoods, making false claims, um, and not be able to provide any evidence. Hmm. Now, there's certain things that you need to avoid when it comes to dealing with difficult people. The first thing is take it personally. Realize that their behavior is often about them, not you. One thing that I have said and I continue to repeat: hurt people hurt people. Okay. Difficult people have had trauma that, for reasons only known to them, have not been addressed, and most likely it's going to go unaddressed. Because the problem is that will assume that they will have to take accountability for their actions. The reality is that many of these people will not take accountability. They will blame others, they will blame their circumstances, but they will not take a look in the mirror, and they will say, you know what? There's something about me, which is what problem. There's something about me that I need to address. There are certain individuals who just, for whatever reason, lack the ability, lack the maturity, to take it, to analyze themselves and take accountability for their actions. Another thing try to change them. Focus on controlling your response to their actions rather than trying to fix them. Okay, now this is very important. Okay, first of all, remember what I said just now? A lot of these individuals who are difficult people lack the ability to take accountability for their actions. In fact, by their own personal perspective, they're doing nothing wrong. Okay. So until they get to the point where they are able to take accountability for their actions, they are not going to see that they have to make changes in their behavior. Some people are just not capable of doing some self-reflection. Some people are just not capable to analyze. Some people are unable to think, why are people avoiding me? Why people find me unpleasant? Why people don't wish to engage with me? Okay. And again, it has to do with the fact that certain people lack the ability uh, to take accountability for their actions. And the final thing to avoid: engaging in posture. Avoid trying to win their argument, which only escalates the situation. When it comes to dealing with these people and the fact that they love to argue, um, the only winning argument is not to argue with them, not to engage with them. Okay, because it is a fruitless exercise. First of all, they're not capable, or they appear not capable of seeing your point of view. They do not appear capable of self-reflection. They appear incapable of taking accountability for their actions. So by you trying to win an argument, all you're going to do is make a bad situation into a worse situation. And that's something that they love to do. They love to escalate. They love to argue. I mean, unfortunately, there's certain individuals that actually enjoy um, trying to get you to escalate because unfortunately their self-esteem is so shattered. Their self-esteem is so low that that's the only way that they can feel good about it. But going back to, as far as dealing with difficult people, let me just repeat some of the things that you need to do. Um, First of all, not ma- no, not keep not make it no, not take it personal. Try to limit your exposure. Um, Try to and also make sure that you set up boundaries for yourself, and be prepared to enforce them no matter what, because difficult people will try to test those boundaries. Okay. And unless there is a absolute positive need to engage with these people, limit your engagement or avoid them if possible. Okay. So, and of course, if you're dealing with a co-worker, it is very important to document, document, and then report the behavior to um, to their supervisor and HR. So therefore, they can take appropriate action, or hopefully they will take appropriate action, whether it be maybe an employee reprimand, and maybe refer that person to anger management, or maybe counseling, or and if, in some extreme cases, unfortunately, termination from employment. Now, in all fairness, I would never want that to happen to anybody. Okay, and of course, as a Christian, we are told to pray for those who persecute us, pray for those who are against us, pray for those who say evil things about us, because they are in need of prayer just like everybody else. In fact, they're more in need of prayer because they have trauma that's never been addressed, and some of them might even be exposed to demonic activity. Okay, so let's see. Just give me a moment. So let me just recap, summarize. Um, all of us from time to time will be dealing with difficult people, and one thing we have to bear in mind is not take it personal. Understand that these are people that um, will just do or say anything to try to elicit an a negative response. They're going to try to go to try to escalate the situation. Mm. And You cannot change them, and she been trying. Okay, because for the most part, they don't see anything wrong in their behavior. Okay, and one of the biggest problems is when you're dealing with someone that exhibit negative behavior, that if they're at that stage where they are unable or unwilling to acknowledge their flaws, their issues, um, the best thing to do is try to limit your interaction to what's absolutely necessary, or if you can, avoid them completely. Okay. So, with that being said, I do hope that I gave you some positive information to help you to deal with negative people, difficult people. I will be live the next time on my main channel. It will be um, Thursday night dealing with the power of confession. Okay. Now, have you ever have a situation where there are days when you say, today's going to be a good day, and it ends up being a good day, and times when you say today's going to be a bad day, and lo and behold, it is a bad day. Um, the power of confession, basically, what you're doing is you bringing life into a reality. So I'm going to be sharing my thoughts regarding that topic. And of course, the playback end, you're more than welcome to enter your comments. Just try to keep it respectable, because if not, they will be deleted. And I believe that should you apply these principles, you'll be more successful dealing with difficult people. So, with that being said, I will be live next week on this channel. Um, hmm, it'll it'll probably be Tuesday or Wednesday night of next week. In any case, I'll probably announce it either on Thursday's live or Saturday's live. Okay. And of course, I'm going to close the same way that we always close. We must do everything possible to avoid the presence of the mentally and intellectually challenged, because if we fail to do so, we'll be infected by their stupidity and less insanity. And of course, whatever we say and do, we should do for the glory of God. And with that being said, I'm going to wish all of you a wonderful good night. Stay blessed, take care, and peace.
Be strong.